tea. The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows your dream. Then a little voice inside you whisper. Don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
Hey guys, and welcome to
The Grove.
I'm Miss D.
And I'm Miss S.
Today we are going to be showing you how to build a barge.
So to start with the supplies you'll need, you will need a container that looks just like this. Next you will need,
A sheet of aluminum foil,
and lastly, you will need some little objects to put in your barge for your test runs.
Today we picked these small beads, but that doesn't mean you have to choose that. You can use anything like rice, beans, Q-tips, anything that has a small amount of weight and a small surface area.
Be creative with it.
Here are our barges. I went with the circle approach. I thought maybe it'll hold more.
And I picked a square approach.
But you guys can pick any sort of shape you want or any design. It doesn't have to have walls. It could be a triangle. It could be a whole Titanic, whatever you would like.
So now Miss Danny is going to demonstrate how she made her barge. All right, Miss Danny, now let's go ahead and see how you built your barge.
Obviously, we're starting off with a square shape, so you have to take the edges, fold them into triangles. They don't have to be exactly perfect unless you're crazy like I am. But for today's example, we folded into triangles, giving us kind of a hexagon or a square. Whatever you end up with, it really doesn't matter. Then to make my walls a little stronger, I took these edges, folded them in all the way around.
Does it matter which edge you start with?
Nope, it doesn't matter. As long as you end up with edges. All right, so now that we have our edges folded into a good size, you can make your boat or a circle, whatever size you'd like. Then I started folding up my walls to create my circle in any fashion you'd like. You can fold up these walls. If you want to make it smaller, you can take your edges and fold them together and kind of crimp them.
Miss Danny, I have a question.
Yes, what's your question?
What's a barge?
A barge is actually a type of boat that transports goods. So it has to be able to hold enough weight for whatever it's transporting, like a car or food or anything like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we've crimped some edges together. We got a rough idea of how I built mine. And just like that, you have your very own barge.
Can you show us how it works?
Let's get to it. So, now we have our container with our very nice blue water, thanks to Mr. Rios.
Shout it over there.
Thanks, Rios. Now, we add our barges. Will it sink, will it float? With nothing in it. The answer is yes. Now we're going to add our weight and see if it'll hold. You can take any amount, nothing real specific. I don't think it really is gonna affect it too much. So a good handful. And as we can see, we're still floating. We're buoyant. We're above water.
Miss Danny, what does buoyancy mean?
Buoyancy is something's ability to float on water.
I bet you my barge holds more items than yours.
You're on.
All right then, let's get it.
Let's go. Welcome back.
Whose barge do you think will hold more? Mine or Miss Danny? Go ahead and tell your parents or
Whoever's
Just-
around you.
tell anybody you want.
Take a vote. When measuring out your weight, you want to have a consistent benchmark. So just as an example, we have 2 of these cups full of our beads. If you're using rice, you can grab a tablespoon. If you're using beans, a measuring cup, just something so you know how much is going to be put into your barge.
Okay.
Competition's on.
Let's get started then.
Cup number 1.
The key is to pour it in very slowly so that you don't just dump everything in there and your boat doesn't sink as fast.
All right, how is yours looking?
Mine is holding up wonderful.
I seem to have a little bit of dropping from the weight. I don't know about you.
Mine's looking very fabulous.
Cup number 2.
All right, number 2. Ready? 3,
Yep.
2, 1. Pour that thing in. Okay, mine's looking like it's gonna tip in just any moment.
I'm gonna try and balance out the weight of mine to make it even.
Oh, good thinking. I did not think about that.
That way we don't have one side tipping in before another. I'm still looking pretty good, honestly.
Mine's looking very full, like after Thanksgiving Day.
Cup
Alright,
number
cup
3.
number 3. This might be the end for mine.
It might be the end as well for mine.
Okay, ready, pour. It's still holding up. That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
3 cups in, I'm still doing good.
Yep, mine's still holding up like a champ.
But here's the design flaw in yours.
I know, they're falling out at the corners. My barge was not made with proper technique. I just kind of went for it. And now my little beads are falling out at the edge. All right, Miss Danny, let's see your barge.
All right, so I had a little more surface area on mine, so I can spread them out more evenly. And I think that this is the thing where design comes in, because for yours example, it's kind of stacked up. No worries, it's part of design. This is why they don't build things certain ways, and this is what we're learning as well. Now we get to have a little fun with our experiment. Let's load it up and see how much it can really take until we hit failure. So I'm gonna grab another cup. All right, here's my 4th cup. Let's see how my barge holds up. It's a success! So this is number 5.
I think it's gonna pour out on the 6th cup. What do you think, Miss Danny?
I don't know. I think 6 might be my limit. I'm starting to run out of room. And I'm starting
That's
to
the same
stack.
problem I dealt with.
Yeah.
Maybe if we used something that was heavier, but like,
I'm sure a heavier object would have weighed our barges down significantly faster.
like beans or even small rocks.
Right.
Even some Legos. Get creative, guys.
Here's cup number 6. I'm gonna try and keep them all in there as best I can.
I think you won this round. Until next time.
Build a barge, have some fun. Use whatever you'd like around your house. Obviously smaller weight, you can add more, maybe more weight, it'll sink. Also, how do you want to build your barge could affect how much you hold and how quickly it'll sink. Whatever shape or design you use, it's up to you.
Okay guys, so now that you have seen our project, the last step is to,
If you would like to do it, have your parents submit a photo of you doing your own version of this project.
after you send your photo, you can be featured in our next video and we'll give you a little shout out to show all the other schools how your project went.
That's it. That's the end. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on
The Grove. Hi everybody, so as you watched in the video, we were making barges out of foil and using it in the water and testing it out with any objects. So I'm going to be doing it with my little brother Jacob, who is a student at Monterey Heights. Jacob, go ahead and say hi. Hi. Okay, so are you ready to get started and make your barge?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be using pieces of foil. Go ahead and start making your barge, and I'll start making mine as well. Earlier I made a circle barge, and it was pretty effective, but we also seen its flaws, obviously. So tell us what you're doing, Jacob.
Speedboat.
He's making a speedboat inspired barge, so we'll see how that one works.
It inspired me by my Lego speedboat.
Okay, are you thinking about where you're going to put your Legos at and how many you're going to be able to stack inside of there?
Yeah.
Awesome. So go ahead and show the camera how yours is looking so far.
Our technique is to make it like as low, where the thingy, the levels go in as low as possible so water doesn't get into the side.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Like a dinosaur stomach.
That's a good idea. Okay, are you ready to test it out? Now we are gonna go ahead and put it in the water. Oh, here's this floating. That's wonderful. So, how many Legos do you think are gonna stay inside of it?
I don't know.
What's a number? Just guess. How many do you think it will hold? I think it'll hold maybe like 10. So we have the first Lego, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it looks like it's almost tipping to the side. Let's push it back in the middle. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 8, you built a really good barge. It's really floating. Can you guys see it in there? 29,
31.
31, 5 Legos fit into our barge.
It's
Can
all
you guys believe that? Go ahead and
2 handfuls of Lego.
show them your barge. Say thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time for our next video. Bye.